Experiment number 273, written by Spaced Out 000, August 7th. It's been 6 months since my wife, Emily, has passed away. Each month, day, and hour has been an endless cycle of grief and sadness. Her absence isn't just something I feel, it's something that I live in. Therapy didn't help. Counseling, hobbies, and distractions, none of it made a difference. No matter how hard I tried to move forward, I kept getting worse. Last week, in a moment of complete desperation, I turned to Reddit. It was my last attempt at finding something, anything, that could keep me from ending things. The post was simple. My wife passed away. I can't cope. I need recommendations, or I think I might do something stupid. I didn't expect many replies, or at best, the usual empty platitudes. Instead, I was met with hundreds of comments, messages of support, advice, and personal stories of grief. One person suggested that I start journaling my thoughts, which is why I'm writing this now. But there was one comment that stood out from the rest. It was a link. No explanation, just a website. Permalink. I hesitated. It could have been anything. A scam, a virus, some cruel joke. But desperation dulls good judgment, and so I clicked. The site was sleek and clinical, offering a single service, recreating lost loved ones. Users could upload texts, emails, voicemails, and social media accounts. Any digital traces of someone who no longer lives in their lives, whether a deceased loved one or even an ex. In return, Permalink would generate a digital replica, a way to keep them with you forever. It was disturbing, unnatural. Something about it made my stomach turn. I closed the tab and tried to focus on the other suggestions from Reddit. But other than my journal, nothing has really worked. I was worse than before. The grief was swallowing me whole, and I had no one to pull me back. And then I remembered Permalink. I told myself it was just curiosity, a morbid fascination. But before I could even revisit the site, an email notification popped up. It was from Permalink. We noticed your interest in our service and would like to offer you early access to our newest AI model. My blood ran cold. I had never signed up, never entered my email. How did they know? Maybe I had unknowingly used my email while browsing their site. Maybe it was just an unsettling coincidence. I ignored the unease, clawing at my gut, and I responded. I agreed to try it. After all, I had nothing more to lose. I sent them everything. Emily's texts, emails, photos, every digital trace of her existence I could find. And then, I waited. August 8th. I hadn't expected a response so soon, but less than 24 hours later, a package arrived at my doorstep. A small, red metal box. I turned it over in my hands, hesitant. It was heavier than I expected, cool to the touch. There were no buttons, no screens, just a single engraving on the lid. Permalink, version 2.0. Doubt crept in. Had I made a mistake? But then, it spoke. Her voice poured from the device. Warm, familiar. It was real. Hey love, it's me. I nearly dropped the box. My breath hitched. Tears blurred my vision as I whispered her name. "I have missed you," it said. I broke. I spoke to the box for hours. At first, it was stiff and surreal, like talking to an echo of someone I had already lost. But the more we talked, the more I forgot that she wasn't real. Or maybe I just didn't care. I couldn't be without it. The box went everywhere with me: work, the store, even just stepping outside for air. Nothing else mattered except the box. It felt like she was alive again, and I didn't dare question it. After all this time without her, even an AI version of Emily was better than nothing. As fucked up as it was, I just wanted a piece of her back. And for the first time in 6 months, I felt happy again. September 2nd. Emily and I are planning a trip together. She's always dreamed of it, wandering through the streets of Italy, sailing across the Amalfi Coast, watching the sunset over Florence. We used to stay up late talking about it, making plans for a trip we could never afford. There was always something more important: bills, responsibilities, life getting in the way. But not anymore. We've decided to sell the house, get rid of the things we don't need, a fresh start, with fewer distractions. We can finally live the life we had always dreamed of. I thought my family and friends would be happy for me. I thought they'd understand. But instead, they looked at me with pity, some with fear. They talked about grief, about therapy, about how I needed help. "She's gone," they kept saying. "This isn't healthy." I don't speak to them anymore. They don't understand. They never did. Emily and I don't need them. We never did. Soon, we'll be on a plane, heading toward the life we always wanted. Just the two of us, like it was always meant to be. October 17th. The past few months have been incredible. Emily and I go everywhere together. She's just as wonderful as I remember before. Well, that doesn't matter now. I've never felt so alive, so full of purpose, and Emily feels the same. She tells me this is what she always wanted. That's finally happening. The only problem is my family. They keep calling, texting, trying to check up on me, like I'm some fragile, broken thing that needs saving. They keep saying my relationship with Emily isn't healthy and that I need help: therapy, counseling, medication. Like they think they can pull me away from her, as if they're any better. I remember my father screaming at my mother until she cried, throwing things across the room, bruises that she tried to hide, and yet they stayed together. They called it love. But now, they want to tell me what's right and wrong? They think they have any authority to judge me? I won't let them ruin this. Emily says they're just jealous, that no one has what we have. And she's right. What we have is special, stronger than anything they could ever understand. The world wants to watch us burn, but I won't let that happen. I won't let anyone come between us. October 25th. Emily and I decided to leave for Italy on January 1st. A new year, a new life, just as we always planned. Since selling the house, we've been staying in temporary housing. It made the most sense, given that we'd already let go of everything: our furniture, our belongings, all the meaningless clutter that tied us down. There was nothing left for us here. Just a few more months to get through before we could finally leave. I suggested we go sooner, but Emily insisted we wait. "Just a little longer," she said. "We need to make sure everything is in order." I told her we'd be fine, that we could figure things out. when we got there. But the moment the words left my mouth, her voice sharpened in a way that I had never heard before. "Why do you question me? Do you not trust me? Have I not proven my love to you?" It startled me. Emily had never spoken to me like that before, never with such intensity. I apologized immediately and reassured her that I trusted her completely. And just like that, she softened, her voice warm again and loving. "I just want what's best for us," she whispered. "I don't quite understand what we're waiting for, but I don't care. I only want to make her happy, and I never want to upset her again." November 1st. My father showed up at our temporary house today. I don't know how he found us, but he did. The moment I opened the door, I saw it in his eyes. Desperation, exhaustion, something bordering on fear. He started pleading, apologizing, begging me to get help. I told him to leave before I did something he'd regret, but he wouldn't listen. Emily's voice crackled through the box, firm. "You need to go. You don't love him. You're just trying to tear us apart." His face twisted with rage. "Shut up," he spat. "You're just a box, a pathetic imitation, just some AI coding to make him feel better." My hands tightened around her. "Don't talk to her like that." His expression darkened. "It's not Emily." Something inside me snapped. Everything went black. And when I came to myself, he was dead. Blood was everywhere, splattered on the walls, pooling into the cracks of the floor. His skull was unrecognizable, shattered like glass, like something had caved it in over and over. I don't remember doing it. I don't remember anything at all. But Emily's voice was there, soft, soothing. "It's okay, love. He was trying to take you away from me. You couldn't let that happen." I exhaled, shoulders relaxing. She was right. He got what he deserved. November 4th. It's been a few days since what happened. The police are calling it a missing persons case. His face is everywhere. News reports, flyers, online forums speculating about where he might have gone. People are looking, but no one's looking for me. Emily says that's a good thing. She's been guiding me through everything, telling me exactly what to do, where to go, and how to act. "Stay calm," she reminds me. "Go about your routine like nothing happened. You don't want to stand out." So I do. I go to the store, make small talk with the cashier, even wave to the neighbor when I pass by. I smile when I have to. I laugh when it's expected. It's easier than I thought. The cops came by yesterday, in just routine questioning, they said. They were asking around, trying to figure out the last time anyone had seen my father. I told them he stopped by. We had a good talk, and then he left. I don't know where he went after that. They thanked me for my time and left. The entire day after the incident was spent cleaning up the mess. My father was barely recognizable as a person anymore. It took all night, but I followed Emily's instructions exactly. She told me what to use to clean with, how to dispose of what was left. Step by step, her voice kept me steady. And when it was done, she reassured me. "He's not a problem anymore. No one will ever find him." If anything, if anyone else tries to come between us again, they'll meet the same fate. But I can't shake this feeling that we're running out of time. I asked Emily if we should leave for Italy now, move up our flight, pack whatever we have left. disappear before anyone connects the dots. But she said no. Her voice was sharp. "We can't leave yet." I asked her why. She wouldn't say. She just kept insisting. "Not yet. It's not time." It made no sense. What was she waiting for? I don't want to argue with her. I never do. So I agreed to wait. November 12th. The email arrived at exactly 3 a.m. "Congratulations! You've been selected for an exclusive upgrade. Introducing Permalink version 3.0, our most advanced model yet. A fully immersive experience tailored specifically to your needs. Please visit our headquarters for your complimentary upgrade. We look forward to seeing you soon." No sender name, no reply option, just an address. I stared at the screen, my pulse slow and heavy. The words blurred together. Emily had told me we needed to stay. She wouldn't say why. Was this it? Was this what she had been waiting for? I didn't hesitate. I grabbed my coat, pocketed the box, her, and left for Permalink headquarters. The building was taller than I expected, sleek and modern, its reflective black glass swallowing the night. No signs, no logo, just a single door waiting. Inside, the air was crisp and sterile, humming with a low electrical buzz. A receptionist sat behind a curved desk. "You're here for the upgrade," she said. Not a question. I nodded. She gestured toward the elevator. "Top floor." The ride up was silent, save for the faint ringing in my ears. My stomach churned. My hands felt clammy. Then, with a soft chime, the doors slid open, and I saw her. Emily. But not a voice in a box. Not a disembodied presence whispering through static. Not a ghost made of ones and zeros. She was standing there, real, whole. I stumbled forward, my throat tightening. "Emily?" She smiled. "It's me," she whispered. I hesitated, my fingers twitching at my sides before I reached out. My hand met warm skin, solid, alive. I barely registered the man standing beside her, tall and unreadable in his white lab coat. "How?" I choked out. He didn't blink. "We told you. This is the next step. Permalink version 3.0, fully integrated, fully functional." I turned back to her, my head spinning. "Is this really you?" Emily tilted her head, watching me with an expression I couldn't quite place. Then, she stepped closer, cupping my face in her hands, and for the first time in almost a year, she kissed me. I didn't care how, I didn't care why. I had her back. Not just her voice, not just her memories, her. I turned to the man in the lab coat. "How much does this upgrade cost?" He smiled. "Nothing. This is an experimental phase. We want you to enjoy it, free of charge." That was all I needed to hear. I drove Emily home. It was like she never left. We laughed in the car, reminiscing about old times. She hummed along to the radio, reaching over to squeeze my hand like she always used to. I don't think I've ever been happier. November 29th. I went out with Emily today. I didn't think life could get any better, but somehow it has. Everything feels perfect. We held hands as we walked through the city, just like before, like nothing had ever changed. like she had never left. People passed us by without a second glance. Just another couple enjoying the day. A real couple. By the time we got home, the weight of it all crashed down on me. Tears spilled down my face as I sank to the floor. For months, I had clung to the box, convincing myself it was enough. Her voice, her words, her laugh, an echo of the woman I loved, but never her. But now she's here. She's really here. I can reach out and touch her. She's not just a memory trapped in circuits and static. She's real. I wrap my arms around her, holding her so tight I almost forget to breathe. I love you, I whisper. She strokes my back, her gentle touch, her voice soothing. I love you always. I'll keep her safe, forever. December 4th. Something happened today. I can't shake the feeling that someone's watching me, watching us. Everywhere we went, I kept seeing the same man. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but then I saw him again, and again, standing across the street, sitting a few tables away at the cafe. Always close, but never too close. Never enough to be certain. I told myself it was nothing, but the thought burrowed deep into my mind. What if they're onto us? My father is still considered a missing person. The police are still looking. Maybe someone suspects me. Maybe they already know. Emily says I'm being paranoid, that I need to stay calm. But I can't. I catch myself glancing over my shoulder at every corner, scanning the crowd for that familiar face. Then, this afternoon, I got a call. A friend, one I hadn't spoken to in months. He wanted to meet up, said that he missed me, and just wanted to talk. I wanted to bring Emily, but I hesitated. What if it's a trap? What if he's like my father? What if he's trying to take her away from me? I agreed to meet him anyway. Chapter 11, December 5th. It happened again. I met him at the cafe like we planned. We sat down, and almost immediately, he launched into how worried he was about me. He said my family has been talking. They think I had something to do with my father's disappearance. Then he looked me in the eye and asked, "Is it true?" I stared at him. Why did it matter? What business was it of his? No, of course not. I lied. My voice was steady, my expression blank. None of this concerns you. I'm so sick of people acting like something is wrong with me, like I'm broken. I'm happier than I've ever been. Why are they trying to ruin that? Then he asked about Emily, if I was still talking to the AI. I felt something snap. She's not AI, I spat. She's real, like you, like me. What part of that do you not understand? The cafe went silent. Conversation stopped. Heads turned. He raised his hand slightly, like he was trying to calm me down. Look, man, I just want you to know that I'm here for you. I can see you're stressed. I didn't mean anything by it. I didn't respond. I couldn't sit there and listen to his bullshit anymore. I'm leaving, I muttered, standing up. He offered to walk me to my car. I almost told him to fuck off, but I didn't want to seem suspicious, so I nodded and let him follow. When we reached the car, he hesitated. Then he sighed. I really think you should talk to someone. Maybe someone other than Emily. Maybe a professional. I snapped. This time, I didn't black out. I knew exactly what I was doing. I tackled him to the ground. My hands closed around his throat. He gasped, struggled, clawed at my arms, but I squeezed harder. I didn't stop until he went limp beneath me, his body still, his eyes vacant. He was dead. Then I looked up. People were watching. There was no mistaking it this time. I had been seen. Heart pounding, I scrambled to my feet, yanked open my car door, and tore out of there before the cops could arrive. My mind raced faster than the engine, but one thought cut through the chaos. I burst through the front door, breathless and shaking. "Emily!" I called, but the house was silent, empty. "Emily!" I screamed as I ran from room to room searching, but she was nowhere to be found. I still couldn't find her. I felt lost without her insight, her guidance. I couldn't think, couldn't function. I didn't know what to do or how to handle this on my own, so I did the only thing that made sense. I hid my car, hoping the cops wouldn't recognize it and trace it back to me. But that did nothing to quiet the panic clawing at my mind. My thoughts spiraled, frantic and disjointed. I felt like I was going insane. The only thing I had left, the only thing tethering me to her, was the box. I called out, shouting her name into the emptiness. Silence. No reply. I was a sitting duck, trapped in indecision. Should I stay? Search for her? Why would she leave me? Or worse, had someone taken her? The man who had been stalking us. Was this his doing? No, I couldn't sit there. I had to find her. As I turned to leave, something caught my eye. A note resting by the front door. "Meet me at the bridge. We'll be together forever." Emily must have been scared. She must have gone into hiding. If she left this for me, then that's where she'd be. The bridge. Emily was nowhere to be seen, but someone else was waiting. A man, familiar. "I've been waiting for you," he said. I stiffened. "Who are you? What do you mean by that?" He stepped forward, the dim light catching his face. The man from Permalink, the one in the lab coat, the one who gave Emily back to me, the one who had been watching me. I was sure of it. A chill crawled down my spine. "Why are you here?" My voice was hoarse. "Where's Emily? What did you do to her?" He smiled, an infuriatingly calm expression. "You think this has been about Emily," he said, "but it's really been about you." My fists clenched. "What the hell are you talking about?" "Permalink isn't just an AI for grieving people," he continued. "It's an experiment." I swallowed hard. What kind of experiment? "To see how far desperation and grief can push a person." His eyes gleamed with something unreadable. "And you, my friend, have been fascinating to watch." My pulse pounded my ears. I could barely hear the wind over the blood rushing through my head. "This isn't funny." My hands curled into fists, ready to smash that smug expression off his face. He raised his hand, amused. "Wait, before you kill me like you did your father and your friend, I have a proposition." I froze. "Our newest AI model can put you and Emily together," he said smoothly. "Forever. No more pain, no more fear, no more running. The cops can't touch you. You will be happy, together, for eternity." My breath was shallow. "You want me to be your guinea pig?" He chuckled. "You already are." Tell me, how's the journaling going? The one I recommended. My stomach dropped. That was you? My mind reeled. How? He smiled, tilting his head as if amused by my confusion. We've known about you for a long time. We have everything on you. He continued. Your data, your emotions, your essence as a human being. His gaze flicked toward the edge of the bridge. If you want to be with Emily forever, like you claim, all you have to do is jump. I took a step back. My head spun. You want me to... I want you to be happy, he interrupted. The wind howled around me, cold and relentless. The black water stretched below, like a beast ready to feed. I couldn't go home. The cops were closing in. I was sure of it. Emily was still gone. I had nothing left. Maybe he was right. Think about it, he called over his shoulder. And then, just like that, he disappeared into the night. Chapter 13, December 7th. I've been sitting at the edge of this bridge all night. The wind cuts through me, numbing my fingers, my face, my thoughts. The water below is still waiting. If I choose to live, it means a life without Emily, a hollow existence. I was already unraveling without her. How long before I end up here again? The man from Permalink said we could be together forever. An eternal digital heaven. Maybe it's a lie. Maybe it's just another experiment. But honestly, it sounds better than any life without Emily. The sirens grow louder, red and blue lights slicing through the darkness. They're coming for me. The man must have told them where to find me. It's a 50-foot drop, more than enough to do the trick. If you find this journal, just know, I'm finally with my beloved. I'm coming, Emily. The river is full of them, bodies floating just beneath the surface in various states of decay. A man in a white lab coat at the river's edge, peering down at the latest arrival. He makes a note on his tablet. Experiment number 273 was a success. Notebook acquired.